Hi everyone, and I hope we're all very excited for our SAT math tip of the day. So in this example, we are looking at, I'm just picking a color marker, but yellow won't be good, right? Because that's not really going to show up, is it? Okay, blue. In the xy coordinate plane, point 1, comma 4 is on the line whose equation is y equals 3x plus b. What is the value of b? Now, I've watched a lot of people do questions like this one, and they get points for creativity for sure. They are drawing pictures and doing all this elaborate stuff. Now, this is an easier level of difficulty than another question may be. However, we want to know the smartest way to do the problem. Think smarter, not harder. So what will that be? Well, for starters, people tend to all of a sudden forget that when you're given an ordered pair like 1, comma 4, that you're actually given an x and a y value. We now have a pairing of an x and a y that are special because they exist on the line whose equation is given. So that means that I can substitute the x and y simultaneously because they are an ordered pair, right? Like a pair of shoes, they go together, you wear them together. We can substitute 1 for x and 4 for y, and then isolate the b and find our answer. This is an open-ended question example. Now, another thing that tends to go wrong, even if people do realize this much, the thing that tends to go wrong is that because 1 is on the left and 4 is on the right, when they get to the equation, they plug them in backwards. So just slow down. So 4 goes in for y equals 3 times 1 plus b. 3 times 1, don't put 4. It's 3. 4 equals 3, and it's not 3b, it's 3 plus b. Then we just have to get the b alone. So classic pre-algebra, algebra 1, whatever you want to call it, and that's gone. And we're left with b equals 1. So in the open-ended section, it's going to be like these little bubble guys, and you have these 4 little boxes. So you can either write the 1 all the way justified to the left, or you can write the 1 all the way justified to the right. Just don't randomly stick it in the middle. And then in either situation, you just go underneath and you bubble in the bubble for 1 and move on with your life. You'll never have anything that takes up more than 4 boxes. If you do, you messed up. So start over. Another thing to keep in mind, you will never get negative answers on the open-ended, on the SAT math, unless they tell you, what is the absolute value of ba, 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 ba. You're not going to have a negative because there's nowhere to bubble in negatives. You're never going to get a radical in your answer. There's nowhere to bubble in a radical. You're never going to get pi in your answer. There's nowhere to bubble in pi. You're never going to get a 5-digit number. You only have enough room for 4. Fractions, you should always reduce, right? So something like 2/3, that's a reduced fraction. We love that. But something like 4/6, for instance, you'd want to put 2/3 instead. You'll never get a fraction like 13/15 because it takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. And again, we only have enough room for 4. So I tried to just cram a little bit of tip and advice extra on top of just the problem. Don't forget, an ordered pair always represents an x and a y. You could usually sub it in and make a whole lot of progress. And also, last bit of advice is please don't forget that on the open-ended or short response or whatever you want to call it, student-produced response section, the difficulty level resets back to easy. Okay, so just because you left off multiple choice on something a little harder doesn't mean when you flip and you see those open-ended questions that you should have a meltdown. The first few are easy, then it builds to medium, and the last 1 or 2 might be hard. Of course, it varies person to person, but it does reset back to easy. So if you're on the end multiple choice questions, it might be good to just guess and go to the open-ended if you think you're going to run out of time. Okay, so that was your example of the day. I hope you liked it. Dallas hopes you liked it. He's been napping over here, learning all the math. He is feeling very smart today, and he hopes you are too. Thumbs up for Dallas. Thumbs down if you are an animal hater and you're evil. And see, he whimpered. He's like, please don't do that. Subscribe, check the playlist, check the next video. And I hope you are enjoying these SAT tips of the day. Hopefully we continue to get one a day for the whole month. And have a great rest of your week. Bye.